Spain won the Women's World Cup for the first time, deservedly beating England in Sydney. History has been made. Against the odds and amid upheaval, Spain reached their peak in Sydney on Sunday, beating England 1-0 to win the Women's World Cup for the first time. Spain's qualification to the final, given the turbulent year the national team had had, was remarkable. La Roja's victory over the reigning European champions and pre-match favorite, despite the controversies and divisions that have overwhelmed the national team throughout the tournament, makes this an extraordinary feat. Olga Carmona's amazing goal in the 29th minute proved to be the winner. Spain could even miss a penalty in the second half as La Roja became only the second country, after Germany, to win both the Men's and Women's World Cups. As Spain's celebrated players formed a jubilant pile of red at the Australian stadium, many England players were in tears as their hopes of becoming the country's first world football champions since 1966 ended at the hands of an impressive Spain. As for goal possession and attempts, there was only one team in it. Spain was ahead of England. But there's some consolation for England who, like Spain, were competing in a Women's World Cup final for the first time, because the team had advanced further than ever in this competition. Even in defeat, the Lionesses made history. Prince William paid tribute to the spirit of the Lionesses, posting on X, formerly known as Twitter, "Although it's the outcome none of us wanted, Lionesses did yourselves, and this nation is proud." But it is Spain that celebrates, and it is Spain's future that shines the brightest, especially if the problems can be resolved off the pitch, because now, incredibly, the Iberian nation is the U17, U20 and Senior Women's World Cup winners. Level. Some of the country's most famous faces have enjoyed the team's success. Tennis star Rafael Nadal, the 22-time Grand Slam winner and arguably Spain's greatest athlete, posted an Instagram story that said, "Let's go there. Congratulations, world champions." But as fireworks lit up the night sky and a wave of golden ribbon showered the winning players as the trophy was presented, thoughts came to those Spanish players who missed out on the sport's biggest prize because of a rift between players, coaching staff and the country's football federation. Last September, 15 Spanish players declared themselves unavailable for selection, saying they were unhappy with the training methods of coach Jorge Vilda, who described the situation at the time as a global embarrassment. When asked in preparing for the final what it was like to face a locker room that questioned the value of a coach and staff, Vilda said there was no choice but to concentrate on work. Only 3 of those 15 players who wrote letters to the Spanish Football Federation, RFEF, last year, saying the situation within the national team was affecting their emotional state and health, have been selected for the World Cup squad. One of them was Aitana Bonmati, a midfielder who excelled against England and won the Golden Ball, which is awarded to the best player of the tournament. The Barcelona player was unrivaled and epitomized Spain's supremacy as well as the talent at the country's disposal. Spain became world champions without some of their best players, talents who are the best in the world in their positions. It says a lot for the pool of talent at Spain's disposal that they were able to succeed in such circumstances. However, while this may have been a transformative win for women's football in the country in the previous 3 World Cups, Spain had never progressed beyond the last 16. It is probably not a unifying one. The country is now the best in the world, but the international future of these exiled players is still unclear. With the victory, the questions surrounding the national structure, about whether or how the dispute can be resolved, do not disappear. This was a final match between 2 of the best teams in the tournament, which made the encounter interesting and exciting. As expected, Spain had a monopoly on the ball, taking more than 50% possession in the first half, and La Roja's technical supremacy allowed passing to be brilliant, as one-touch football put the Lionesses on their heels. 19-year-old Selma Barilello, who came off the bench to be instrumental in the semi-final win against Sweden, started the game and justified her selection as she proved to be a constant threat in attack. The teenager, who was named Young Player of the Tournament, is now the first player to win the Women's World Cup at U17, U20 and senior level and could certainly become one of the game's greats. Even with two-time Ballon d'Or winner Alexia Putellas on the bench, the Barcelona star was far from her best this tournament as she continued to find strength after a serious knee injury. Spain were ahead. Although it was England who had their first real chance to break the deadlock, Lauren Hem hit the crossbar with a shot from just inside the edge of the penalty area in the 15th minute. Almost immediately afterwards, England goalkeeper Mary Erbez brilliantly blocked Alba Redondo's effort, but really, the Spaniard should have done better from close range. Then, in the 29th minute, came the opening goal, Carmona curling her shot into the bottom right corner after a sweet play down Spain's left wing. Lucy Bronze's forward pitch left a huge hole in the England defense, and Spain benefited. Irene Paredes should have doubled Spain's advantage, while Paralolo's first shot kissed the post just before the break. Spain was on the rise and continued to dominate after the break. And it looked as if victory would be sealed in the 68th minute when Jennifer Hermoso stepped up to take a penalty after Kira Walsh had been penalized for handball. But a brilliant save from Erbez, who sprinted down the left to parry Hermoso's effort, ensured England stayed in the match. England enjoyed their best period in the match afterwards. Substitute Lauren James forced Spain goalkeeper Cata Cole into action, but despite all this surge of energy, England could not break through La Roja's defense, and it was the eventual winners who finished the game stronger. Spain's coach, Vilda, said he was filled with great joy and pride. He told reporters, "We showed how we can play, we showed that we know how to struggle. This team believed, and we are world champions." Meanwhile, England head coach Sarina Wiegman, who has now suffered defeat in 2 successive World Cup finals after being at the helm of the Netherlands team that lost to the United States in 2019, said the Lionesses should feel proud. "Of course, it feels really bad right now," she said. "We got to the final and then we lost it, but how we showed ourselves, who we are, how we want to play, and how we overcame so many challenges we can be proud of, but we don't feel that way at the moment."